I want to just have some thoughts about this. I've got some thoughts to say about this whole Stephen A. Kellerman thing. Max Kellerman, I think, is great. I think he's great. He's really great, and I think that he's doing a great job. He's not blacker than Stephen A. Smith, but this goes deeper. But we've got to start off there that Max Kellerman isn't blacker than Stephen A. Smith, and I think for black people now saying, "Oh my God, look at Max Kellerman, he's much more, much blacker, he's much realer," that's just making you look sad because I think any black person who is championing Max Kellerman over Stephen A. Smith and is saying, Kellerman, you're invited to the cookout, you're great, you have a slave mentality. Yep, I'm going there. You have a slave mentality. What is that slave mentality? You'd rather a white man save you than a black man save you. You'd rather a white man speak on racial issues than a black man speak on racial issues. If you want to go deeper, you'd rather a light-skinned person speak on racial issues rather than a dark-skinned person speak on racial issues. So that's just the slave mentality there. But I think the key thing is that I actually agree with Stephen A. Smith, and I released my Kaepernick video, and I agree with Stephen A. Smith. He's right. It's the manner, and the manner matters, and that is what Terrell Owens was saying. Terrell Owens isn't wrong. Listen to what Terrell Owens said. Terrell Owens says that I'm merely a messenger. This is what I heard on the streets, and I'm saying to you what people are saying on the streets. And I've heard these things being said whenever Max and Stephen A. Smith have had this kind of racial discussion. So Terrell Owens didn't say, man, I think Max Kellerman is blacker than you. He said, people on the streets are saying, because I'm out in the streets, that they're saying Max Kellerman is blacker than you. So Stephen A. Smith, your beef shouldn't be with Terrell Owens. Now, maybe your beef should be he shouldn't have brought it up onto that platform. But still, at the end of the day, he didn't say it. So your beef should really be to those people who are saying these things. But it's about the manner. Stephen A. Smith, you're black. You'll never be white. You'll never be accepted by white people. That will never happen. As much as you try, no matter how hard you work, no matter how qualified you are, you will never be accepted by these people. It will never happen. It will never happen. So you'll never be seen just as a great reporter. Nope. You'll always be seen as a great black reporter. You cannot extremely, to the nth degree, to a ridiculous extreme, chastise black people on a white-owned platform. You can't do that. In an ideal world, you should. In an ideal world, you should treat everyone the same. We don't live in an ideal world. In a white-owned platform known as ESPN, in one of the most popular sports shows on the planet, you can't be out there fully dressing down black people whenever they act badly. In private, 100%. In private, amongst other black people, go full on in front of your white co-host, you know, and in the huge, massive audience that is ESPN's first take. You can't be doing that because for Stephen A. there's just a way in which you go at black people as like, this just seems like it's almost personal. It seems like it's almost personal. It's like, whoa, okay, you might be right, but my God, man, you don't have to be this extreme. I just watched Shannon Sharp's take. Shannon Sharp has the exact same take as Stephen A. Smith. It's exactly the same. But the way that Shannon Sharp put it, it made sense. It was measured, it was controlled, it wasn't emotional, and he just made points. So afterwards, you're like, yeah, Shannon Sharp, you're right. Kaepernick, you're going to a job interview. You can't show up to a job interview dressed in a manner that is going to antagonize people in that job interview. So let's say I go into a job interview, and I did actually have one of my previous bosses was Jewish. But let's say I go into a job interview with one of my potential bosses who is Jewish, and I wear a I go in and have a tattoo of a swastika, or have a swastika on my jersey. I don't think I'm gonna get the job somehow. I don't think I'm gonna get the job somehow. So that was the point that Sean Sharp was making, that Kaepernick, I think you're more concerned with being this great, huge figure than getting a job in the NFL. And for what my belief is, he should never have even thought about returning to the NFL. The moment he even thought about returning to the NFL, I'm like, nah, this doesn't work. That I believe that your great sacrifice is, I'm going to sacrifice a career in the NFL, all the money in the NFL for what I believe in, this social view that I believe in, because the NFL ain't going to change for you. Because trust me, the only reason why the NFL even gave you a chance is because they don't want to be brought into another legal battle. Down to the NFL, they don't want you. Because the NFL can survive with the people who hate you and the people who demand that you stand for the American flag. So the NFL, they don't want you. They're only giving you this thing because the eyes of the world are watching. But trust me, if it was down to them, they don't want you. They don't want you. So, so for Stephen A. Smith, it's your manner. It's your manner. And I think for Stephen A. Smith, I know right now he's thinking like he must feel extreme, deeply hot. 100%. He must feel deeply hot right now with the stuff that's being said. But I think it's twofold. On one hand, black people do better, do better. I mean, you support this whole Max Kellerman is black. No, please give me a break. Okay, so all because Max Kellerman always agrees with the black struggle and he is a liberal and a social justice warrior, therefore he's invited to the cookouts. Are you that simple? Are you really that simple? And but for Stephen A. Smith, bro, come on, man. You are a black reporter, one of the most popular black reporters out there. There is a way and manner that you should approach when you're criticizing black athletes. Because trust me, these guys ain't they're not perfect. They're not perfect. Once these guys just really finish school, they're not perfect. They're still learning how to actually act properly as a human being. Because their amazing talents for a sport has stopped them actually going through the proper maturity levels that you would if you didn't have that great sporting talent. So that's the thing right there, man. But just think, look, this whole thing is like, look, Terrell Owens isn't the bad guy, but I mean, look, the way he said it was a bit, but he's not the bad guy. He was just being a messenger. But for Stephen A. Smith, man, bro, you can. I like how Stephen A. Smith is like, you have to be fair with everyone. But for black people, because life isn't fair, life isn't just, and it's not black and white, pun intended. Um, but there is just a way that you can go about doing it. And the way that you're going about doing it compared to a Shannon Sharp who is saying the same exact thing as you, I feel is wrong.